Most people are pursuing the wrong business model in 2026. They're following the traditional path, college, student debt, and a 9 to 5 job, only to realize the income's capped before they even start. Other people are pursuing dead end sales roles that require you to be in person 80 hours a week with low commissions, tons of effort with very little upside. And then there are people that are trying to make money online, but they're choosing models where the odds are stacked against them completely, trying to do day trading, building agencies, and chasing all these other little trends that only work for a tiny percentage of people. But what if I told you last year I took home over $600,000 in 12 months using a business model that didn't require a degree, didn't require years of trial and error, and didn't trap me in an office? And I believe this is one of the best business models going into 2026, and most people don't even know it exists. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what it is, how it actually works, and why for the right person, it's the best path forward. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I really want to cover is why would you even consider a new opportunity than what you're currently doing, and why am I even making this video in the first place? And the reason is simple, because I have realized that more people than ever before in 2026 are starting to realize that maybe the opportunity that they're currently in isn't the best path to getting to their end result that they're after. And if you feel that way, I know how you feel because I've done the 9 to 5 route before. I've been in a dead end sales job before, and I know what it feels like, right? You're watching people online because nowadays social media, with social media, we get more access to other people's lives than ever before. So you see people online that are like just like you, maybe even less talented or less skilled, have less work ethic, that are making great money and living great lifestyles. And you can't help but wonder, could I possibly do that, right? Well, that was me because I didn't follow the traditional route. I was a terrible student in high school and college. I dropped out my first semester of college. I tried it a few times after, even like went to junior college, and I just could never make it work. I couldn't find a reason to like really focus in on school, and I didn't understand the end game and like just land a job with a small salary and work at a salary job till I die. So I didn't go that path. I tried it, wasn't for me, and then I tried 9 to 5 jobs, working at McDonald's, Walmart, you name it. If it's a terrible, beginner 9 to 5 job, I've tried it. And I couldn't seem to find anything that really I saw the end. I saw like a ways of actually getting what I ultimately wanted, which was great money and freedom. And I even tried in-person sales. I sold cars for almost 2 years. And it wasn't until I discovered this industry that everything was able to change for me. Even to this day, I've helped dozens of people go from the dead end 9 to 5 route, their traditional college and salary job route, and even the in-person sales, long hours and capped commissions route to this industry, which I'm about to tell you about. Long story short, if you currently have been feeling this way, where you're like, damn, maybe this isn't the path for me. Maybe this 9 to 5, maybe the whole college and get a degree route isn't for me. And maybe this in-person sales job that I've been doing right now isn't necessarily the best place for me. And you've been thinking to yourself lately, hey man, maybe there's an industry where I could go make money online, travel the world, be my own boss, and make 6 figures or multiple 6 figures. Maybe that's possible for me. I'm here to tell you that that is possible. And don't let anybody convince you, whether that be your boss, your manager, the people around you, even your family, that you're not capable and that that's not something that you should pursue, because it's real and it's 100% possible in the industry that I'm about to tell you about. The industry that I'm about to tell you about lives within the online business world. You see, over the last couple decades, make money online space has absolutely skyrocketed. You've got people that are selling courses, they're online coaches, building agencies. There's so many ways nowadays that you can like make money online, right? And what I'm about to walk you through is, quite frankly, it's a specific niche. It's a specific opportunity that lives within the online business world. And that's what's so great about it. That's what allows you to be remote, make the kind of money that you can make and you want to make, and have control over your schedule, like have a lot of freedom, right? But here's the problem with people when they try to get into making money online, because when I first had this epiphany, I was like, man, okay, the whole world, as of 2026, there's like 3.5 billion active users on both Facebook and Instagram. So like the whole world is going digital. Everybody in the world now has a phone and a social media account. Most people do. So everything's going online. That's where everybody's attention is going now, is the internet. So I'm like, how can I get into this space? And, people try different routes. I have a lot of students that come to me that want to learn my business model, and they've tried other things before before, right? Maybe they've tried to build an agency where you become a social media marketing agency and you do marketing for other companies. Or maybe they try to become an online coach or many of the other routes out there that exist online. And the reason that the business model that I'm in is better, in my opinion, especially if you're starting out and making money online than all these other industries, is because they have a very tiny success rate. Because think about it, if you want to work from home, if you want to be your own boss, run your own schedule, and you want to make great money and make $100,000, $300,000 a year net, it's like, okay, you could be a coach, you could start an agency, you could day trade. There's a lot of things you could do theoretically, right? But most of them have their downsides. And some of the main downsides would be that a lot of them require a lot of capital to get started. Not only do you have to sell stuff, right? You got to land clients, but you're not just a salesperson. You're the marketer. You are the person doing the operations, the fulfillment. You've got to handle client issue. You've got to build a team. There's like so many things that go into most of these other business models. And maybe they're not as team intensive, or you've got to like master all these different skill sets at the same time, like day trading or something like that, for example. But they require capital, and there's a huge learning curve. And it's not something where you can just plug in and get started and start making money right away. So the business model that I am referring to is called remote high ticket closing. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this term before. It may be the first time you've heard about it. Maybe you've heard about it, but a lot of people get this word confused. They toss it around. And when I refer to remote high ticket closing, I'm talking about a very specific niche and a very specific way to make money online that most people don't even fully understand. Yet, in my opinion, is literally the best business model in 2026. So let's go ahead and talk about what exactly remote high ticket sales is and how the whole thing works, how it plays a role inside of the online make money space. So remote high ticket sales is actually quite simple. And you see, here's how it works. As of 2026, there are so many people that want to become online coaches or they want to build agencies. So think about all of the biggest names that you see online, whether that be like the Tony Robbins, the Grant Cardone, the Alex Hormozis. These are just three of a long list of well-known Instagram, YouTube, social media influencers that are building audiences in 2026. And these guys all run the same play. So they start a brand, Instagram, they post YouTube content, Facebook content, they run paid ads. So you probably see their videos all the time popping up on your feed that says sponsored. That means they're paying to put those videos in front of you. And these guys all do the same thing. They promote themselves online. They grow huge followings, whether that be 10,000, 100,000, million, or millions of followers online. And then they build an offer, right? They choose a niche, whether that be real estate investing, life coaching, automotive sales training, and the list goes on and on and on. And then what they do is they create what's called an offer, aka a course, coaching program. Maybe it's a live event. It could be a combination of all these things, but it's designed for a specific person that wants to achieve a specific result, whether that person wants to lose weight, increase their marriage, make more money, whatever it may be, right? These guys create what's called offers. And in 2026, the most popular model for an online coach to grow their business is to sell high ticket coaching programs. So these programs aren't like $100, $200, $500. Typically, these coaches will sell their high ticket coaching programs for anywhere from like 2,500 up to even 15,000. Now, there's industries and there's coaches you could go work for that might sell 50,000, even $100,000 packages. Most range between the 2,500 to $15,000 range. But here's what's important to understand. These guys, they create these courses, they promote online, they have millions of followers, sometimes tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, and they funnel people onto sales calls. They promote themselves and they might say, DM me if you want to work with me personally so I can help you do XYZ result, right? And what you've got to understand, and here's where high ticket closing comes in, is when you apply and when people reach out to these online coaches to work with them, the one thing that these coaches don't have when they're running ads, posting content all the time, running their businesses, delivering for their clients, is they don't have time to take the sales calls, right? So when you DM that influencer on Instagram to get real estate coaching or life coaching from them, you're 99.9% of the time not talking to the coach themselves. You're talking to a high ticket closer. And you see, inside of the high ticket closing world, there's essentially two roles. There's the appointment setter and then there's a closer. And the appointment setter is the person that engages in conversation with the lead, qualifies them a little bit, and then gets into a sales call. Like maybe it's called a free consultation or something like that. And that would be where the person talks to the closer. And the closer's job is simple. They're the one collecting the money and selling the person on committing to buying the program, whether that be a $5,000 investment, $10,000, $15,000, whatever it is, that is the closer's job. And if a deal closes, the closer gets paid on it and the appointment setter gets paid on it. The appointment setter will typically make about a 5% commission, and the closer will typically make about a 10% commission. So one of my favorite things to do when I first explain this to my clients is do what's called money math, right? That's super important to understand because, you've got to understand, why is this so leveraged? Like, how does it work so well? Well, if you sell a 5K program and you take 4 sales calls a day and you close 1 out of every 4 people you talk to, you'll make 5,000 in revenue per day. Getting paid 10% commission, you'll make $500 per day. If you do that 5 days a week, you make $2,500 a week, 4 weeks in a month. That would be $10,000 per month that you'd be making. And that would be taking 4 calls a day, closing 1 out of every 4, and working 5 days a week. Not crazy numbers, not like you're like busting your butt working 24/7 or anything like that. On top of that, you're remote. And most importantly, you're helping people change their lives, because obviously you don't want to go work for a coach that doesn't have a good product or program. But a guy like Tony Robbins, a guy like Grant Cardone, they've obviously got proven track records. They know what they're doing. And as long as the person that you sell into the program puts in the results or puts in the work, they can typically get great results. And this, my friends, is literally the industry that's quite literally changed my entire life. And here's the most important part you need to understand, and why I believe this industry is the best one to start out in. Well, realistically, what could you make? I mean, obviously, it takes work. Okay. So I'm not here to tell you that this is like some cakewalk. It's a get rich quick scheme. Gurus online that sell day trading, that sell building an agency and that all those dreams and stuff like that, they might tell you that their vehicle will make you a millionaire overnight. That's not how this works, right? This is sales, and it works really well for a hardworking person because it's not easy, right? You could get in and you could struggle and it could take you a while to ramp up. But once you get into the game, like an appointment setter could make anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 per month. That's just like the typical averages I see, but it could be much more. And then a closer, I mean, I've seen guys that make 5 to 10,000 is pretty much the low end, 10,000, 20,000, $30,000. And I even scaled all the way to making $600,000 to $700,000 per year as a full-time closer. So the sky is the limit. The income potential is there. And that is personally why I believe this is the best industry. And here's the best part. Not only is it a great earning position where you can be remote and you can be your own boss and you have a good amount of freedom over your schedule, but in addition to that, you don't have to learn all these complicated skill sets. You don't have to take on the stress of running a business. There's no capital out of pocket. Companies giving you leads that are warm, by the way. So it's not like you're cold calling. These people are already super interested in what you have to offer. You're just getting them to commit to the process. Other than that, you get paid well, keep getting better. You master the skill set of sales, and you can quite literally change your life. And once you master the skill set, you're in this industry, you can stay in it as long as you'd like. And then your potential from there is limitless, because once you learn how to sell, it's quite literally the most important part about running any business. So this is a great starter path for people that eventually want to run online businesses. You get into one, you scale, you help them sell, and you see how the whole business operates. You're the one collecting money and bringing in the clients. You get to see how the marketing works, the back end, the whole picture. And this is the business model in 2026 that I believe is the best one to get into for those people out there that are very hardworking and want to make good money and are willing to put in the work. And they know that the get rich quick scheme, isn't the most proven path. And you see, I discovered this industry all the way back in 2022. And this is after I tried the Walmart route, I tried the McDonald's, I tried the college route, go get a job, get a salary, all that stuff. And I'd even tried in-person sales. I'd done car sales for over 2 years, scaled to making 6 figures, but it still just wasn't enough because I didn't have the freedom and the income that I wanted. And after discovering high ticket sales in 2022 and struggling for a couple months to really kind of learn the ropes and figure it out, after a couple months and realizing that I had exceeded well more than what I was making when I was selling cars and getting to experience a taste of the lifestyle that comes with high ticket sales, I realized I'd stumbled into a gold mine. And from there, I got obsessed because I knew the opportunity that I had in my hands. So I went from 10K to then 30,000 a month to then even 50,000. I broke $100,000 in one single month before, but I consistently, as a closer over my 3-year career, full-time closing, took home $50,000 a month in commissions. And after going through this is when I started to realize how amazing this vehicle is, and have since started helping other sales reps and people that are in dead-end jobs and opportunity get into the online space and land their first high-ticket sales role. People like Anna, who I helped scale and make her first $10,000 a month as a high-ticket closer, Rafael, Osbaldo, and the plenty of other people I've helped through my academy that I run nowadays called High Ticket Dominance. So that wraps up this video, and I want to leave you with this. If you're a hard worker and you feel like you're stuck in a dead-end opportunity and you're looking for a vehicle that can make you great money in 2026 and is wide open with plenty of opportunity for you to get into the game and change your life, quite literally, then high ticket sales could very well be it. Other people may have different opinions. This is just what I've noticed and from my personal experience, both doing it myself and helping other people break into the industry and change their lives. So if you want to learn more about high ticket sales, that's exactly what I do. I help people break into this industry full time, go from whatever job they're in now to breaking into high ticket sales, landing a great role and getting all the training and skill sets they need so they can absolutely crush it. Feel free to go and check out the links in the description below if you want to work with me, or if you want to see my other content, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe for more content. Talk soon.